everybody, welcome to School of Scarlett. Today I have another message for you. Today's message is coming from a couple of dreams I had last night. I guess you could say they were sort of like nightmarish dreams. So I'm going to get into that here today to bring forth today's intuitive message. But before we begin, I saw a huge like tiger butterfly flying around. So I'm out here on my porch and I just want to let you know that I saw that in case that's significant for anybody, a big tiger butterfly. So anyhow, last night was kind of one of those nights where I feel like I didn't get that much sleep. I was just kind of tossing and turning, and there's two dreams that I can remember, but I think I was having like 3 or 4, to be honest with you. I just don't remember all of it. But from those two dreams and what I do remember of it, there is an intuitive message coming through for the collective. So collectively, there's just been a lot going on, and this month of June is also bringing through a lot of triggers for people, a lot of things to be dealt with, whether that's emotions that have been buried or, just situations with people that need to be addressed finally, or if it's just choosing yourself and in that process having to say no to things. It's a bit uncomfortable, and energetically it can feel a bit heavy. So I'm going to be talking about that here today. There's been a few situations that have come up even in my one-on-one sessions where it's just very, very heavy in the energy right now. So it's okay not to be okay. We have our ups and downs, and there's better days and there's not so much, not so fun days, right? And so we have our ups and downs, and eventually, everything kind of equals out. We can look back on things and see why they happened, and we can appreciate, things that maybe in the moment we didn't really appreciate. We didn't even want to happen, right? But later in hindsight, we can see that it was for something, and we either learned something from it, we were able to release something, we saw the truth of something, but something came of those situations that were not so pleasant in that moment. So getting back to the dreams that I was having, I do kind of feel a little bit tired today. I normally sleep really well. So for me to have like a night like this was just kind of unusual. So I want to go ahead and just share with you that the first dream that I had was, I don't know if y'all have ever seen that movie, National Lampoon's Vacation. There's one, I think the newest one, which is now pretty old, with Chevy Chase in it, and I think it's Beverly D'Angelo. And this movie is the one from the Las Vegas one. I think that's the last one that they made, I believe. And so it takes place in Las Vegas, and they're at the Hoover Dam. And I don't know if I'm remembering it correctly, but they're kind of like touring the Hoover Dam. And there's like water kind of like bursting through little holes at the Hoover Dam. And, the character that Chevy Chase plays, he goes and puts like gum in the holes, or he sees that it's covered up with just little pieces of gum. And so my dream was essentially like that. I had a dream about a dam, and it was a dam that was holding back a lot of water. And what I could see was that it had a lot of little pinholes almost, and water was seeping through. And what I could see was that in certain areas there was almost like gum, like something very similar, just kind of wedged in there, holding it in. And then over the course of the dream, things began to happen to where it was almost like a natural disaster at the same time. And it was raining, and there was just too much water for the dam to hold, that it just burst through. And so all those little pinholes that were held through with the gum or whatever it was just burst, and the whole dam, eventually all I could see was like water rushing very, very quickly. And in the dream, I'm always reading into intuitively in a dream what it is the feeling is. So if you get dreams, I recommend you not just look at what happened in that dream, but how did you feel in that dream. And so in the dream, there was like a sense of fear, a sense of dread. So what I see from that dream is that collectively, I have like a message to share with you that there could be a lot that we're hanging on to, a lot that we're trying to keep going, a lot of balls that we're trying to juggle in the air. And it's just like all those little pinholes everywhere, and we're trying to, close this one up, deal with that one, and eventually it becomes too much. And what's going to happen is that dam's going to break. So we're meant to really go and follow our heart and do all the things that we want. But if we're holding on to a lot of things that don't energetically nourish us, they're just taking from us, or we're trying to just hold something very heavy, it's essentially going to drain us. So what I'm seeing here is that it's okay not to be okay. There's probably a reason why you're not okay. So I used to counsel clients that had severe depression, major depressive disorder, and one of the things about them was that when I got into working with them, I would come to find out that it wasn't just an imbalance like in their mind, like a chemical imbalance. It was something further than that. They were holding on to too much. A lot of times, usually it was mental chatter, it was emotional, wasn't even really physical, but they were holding on to too much. And because of that, it was creating like a lack of energy, which would result in depression, which would result in like guilt and shame, because they weren't being as productive as, someone else. So we began to work, on cognitive behavioral therapy of really changing those thoughts, releasing things and letting go of things that no longer need to be there. If we're holding on to the past, if we're going back into the past, we're kind of living behind like a shadow or a darkness. And what you truly are is light. So everything that is not benefiting you, it's time to let it go. If it doesn't give back, because everything energetically should be a give and take. So if you give of yourself, there should be eventually something that you receive from that. It should be a reciprocal sort of relationship with everything in your life. If it's not that way, if you're only giving, or holding, and not able to release it or not able to receive something back for that, then you're going to burn out. You're going to get very tired. So I'm seeing like the word in bright, bold letters, burnout. So if you feel burned out right now, whether that's being burned out at work, burned out in a relationship, burned out in your, daily to-dos, or whatever it happens to be for you, I'm seeing that collectively there's a burnout happening. And there's even like a burnout happening. I'm seeing like a smiley face of trying to keep up appearances, of keeping our vibration high, of, trying to be that happy-go-lucky person. I'm just seeing like a smiley face. So if that's resonating with you somehow, you don't always have to be a smiley, happy face. We oftentimes hear so much, especially in spiritual videos and things like that, like this, to keep our vibration high, to align with this and not that. But it's okay not to be okay. If today you woke up and you felt burned out, or if today you woke up and you felt depressed, it's a warning signal, almost like in a car, to take a look at that. So if my car, flashes the oil light, it's time for me to go check the oil. So if you woke up today and you felt burned out, or you woke up today and you felt depressed, it's a warning signal to check in with yourself for what it is that you can let go of. What is heavy for you? What is only taking from you? So it's really an opportunity for you to make a change with something and really essentially let go of something. So the other thing that came through, and I'm trying to remember now, it was 2 dreams. So the dam, and then there was another thing that came through, which is not coming to me right now. I wanted to say it had something to do with a garden, but honestly, I can't even remember it now, which is kind of unfortunate, but maybe it wasn't meant to be shared. Maybe this message is pretty complete as it is. So whatever you're holding on to, it's time to examine it, to see, is it something that I've got to let go? Is it something that, I can release? So there was a couple of things that happened, just regular life type things. Someone that I know worked at a job for a long time, in my opinion, like 15 years. And I could always see that she was undervalued in that position. I could always see that she never really got promoted in it. I never said anything to her at all. But yesterday she just let everybody know, let the world know on social media that she left that job. And it was a radical change from one profession to something completely different. Let's say from teaching to landscaping, like that big. And so she basically mentioned on there this feeling of not feeling appreciated, feeling like everything was on her shoulders. There's an airplane coming through, if that's significant for anybody. There's a small airport here nearby, and every so often there'll be airplanes. There's actually airplanes more than I thought. But anyhow, so that was something that came up, that, was really kind of shocking, because I never thought she would have let go of that job, even though I think everyone could see that she was undervalued in that position. So you could see, so this was social media, you could see in the comments how many people were happy to see her change that job and do something different. And more recently, and I don't really like to make videos about other people on YouTube, but there's been a lot of videos on YouTube about this particular person on YouTube, and she's a very positive person, and I actually did watch her channel anytime she posted something. And she recently found out that I think it was her husband, cheated on her, and she's pregnant and stuff like that. But you're seeing this play out because she's putting it all on social media, and what you're seeing is that her strength is pulling her through. So she's not sitting there and not letting go of that. She's quickly putting to light the truth so that it can be seen, and letting go and moving forward. And so one of the things about depression is that if we sit there and we stay too much in sorrow and grief in the past, we will develop something like depression. We will develop something like a victim mentality, because we would have been in this cycle, this loop, so long. So it's important that if you are feeling down, if you are feeling like there's just a lot on you, this burnout, that you take action in this moment. So if you feel it now, take action. Just like if I was to go outside and look at my car or drive my car and it says I need oil, I wouldn't wait and just look at the warning light and every time that I drive. I would go ahead and get some oil today. So it's important to do something today. Whatever it is that you can do, even if it's something small, begin to do something today to move out of that, because it's not working for you anymore. So one of the most powerful things that we can do in these situations is allow God to guide us. So really, we should be allowing this guidance at all times, but we oftentimes have the idea that our mind, our brain has a better idea, and so we will override what we feel God or spirit or heart or intuition telling us. We'll override that by doing something that we think that is a better plan. Oh, this is a better plan. This way I won't lose out on this. This way I won't do that. The heart, your intuition, God's spirit will a lot of times guide you into things that are kind of scary because they're very unknown. And it requires sometimes to let go of things, and we're just not wanting to let go of things that we've acquired, even though they may be hurting us. It's like we don't want to let go of something that we've invested so much time in, whether that's a relationship, whether that's a job, whether that's our home or where we live or something like that. We know that it's no longer aligned to us, but because we've been in that so long, it's like the mind, the brain doesn't want to let go of that because it feels like it's already made so many deposits into that. But God in spirit sees that if you move into something else, even if it's calling you into the unknown, you will be restored. You will be renewed. And it won't be very long before you get renewed. So I don't know about y'all, if y'all have ever had to let go of a job, or maybe you've gone through a divorce. And I know that I have. I've gone through all of those things. And you, in a split second, really have to make the decision to move on and let go of everything. Let go of your house, let go of, a lot of financial things that you may have had, what seems like benefits or security, letting go of those things and just leaving with nothing but the clothes on your back and starting brand new somewhere else. And if you've ever had to do that, you will know that it may not be easy, but you will get through it, and you'll get through it even better than you thought. So this is just to encourage you that you have the ability, you have the power to move through anything that is burning you out, that is no longer resonating with you. Let go of it, because eventually that dam's going to break and you're not going to have a choice. You're going to have to move on. So go ahead and do it now. If you're feeling that feeling now, if this is resonating with you, go ahead and go inward. Do a little bit of cleanup. Do a little bit of, looking around your temple, on the inside of your temple, and seeing what needs to be cleared out. What's laying heavy on my heart? What no longer resonates with me? What am I holding on to out of fear? So that's the question. What do you need to let go of? And go ahead and take those steps today to let go of it. Just like that warning light of putting oil in the car, I've got to deal with that today. Doesn't mean I have to have a whole plan. It just means to take a step in that direction and let God lead you into that next step. Whatever ends up happening for you, it may seem a little bit scary, but look back on your life and see that you've done it many times before. And it does seem scary, but each time that you move out of these things, you grow. You actually move into more. You actually are more aligned to who and what is best for you. So allow yourself to trust your inner knowing in this process and allow God to lead you into the next thing. So I hope that this message found you well. If it resonated with you, give me a thumbs up down below to let me know that this was a resonant message for you. Comment down below, what is something that is weighing heavy on you right now? I know there's so many things right now in this world that could be laying heavy on our hearts. So put it down below and take that first step in just putting it out there in the universe and letting it go. I love you all, and I will catch you on our next message.